It's believed that every civilization that had access to jade treasured it above all other stones. The Chinese revered nephrite jade and then also jadeite jade once China opened up trade with Burma in the 1700s. At least 7 different Mesoamerican civilizations, including the Aztec and Maya, used jadeite jade for tools, weapons, jewelry, and even dental work. Jade was revered by cultures on opposite sides of the globe, societies that never came in contact with one another. Customers today have access to jades that would have stunned Chinese emperors and Aztec kings alike. These jewels have never stopped inspiring awe, yet they are still surrounded by mystery and misconceptions. In this video, we're going to get to know the difference between Guatemalan and Burmese jadeite jade and bust common myths about Guatemalan jade. Jade is kind of the Dungeons and Dragons of gemstones. It takes a little while to learn the rules, but once you do, it's layered with history, invites storytelling, and it kind of has a cult following. Meanwhile, diamonds are the monopoly of gemstones. Ubiquitous, full of drama, and somehow always starting fights at family gatherings. There are 2 gemstones called jade: nephrite jade and jadeite jade, also called fei choi. This topic has been covered extensively on my channel, and I have a number of videos dedicated to both, which you can watch via the link in the video description. The jade we'll be discussing in this video is jadeite jade. Until recently, most of the gem-quality jadeite jade you would see in a US jewelry store was from Myanmar. But recently, customers have started seeing more of a unique gray, blue, green color of jade from Guatemala. Jadeite jade is also known to come from Russia, Japan, and many more locales, including the USA. However, these origins do not produce any significant quantity in any notable quality of importance to the international jade trade. Before we get into Guatemalan versus Burmese colors of jade, please smash that like button if you've already learned something you didn't know before. And let me know in the comments, what is your favorite origin of jade? The differences in trace elements and geological formation conditions between Myanmar and Guatemala influence the color characteristics of jade from each origin. Comparing the two is like comparing iPhones and Androids. Different vibes, both still iconic, yet they seem to divide almost everyone. The most valued color of jadeite jade is green, with a true green in a pure tone and vivid dark saturation commanding the highest prices. This quality is sometimes known as Imperial. Unbeknownst to many, high-quality emerald green jadeite jade can come from both Myanmar and Guatemala. However, vivid green jadeite jade from Guatemala may have a distinct dark rim around the stone, indicating to the trained eye that it's not Burmese material. The second highest valued color of jadeite jade is lavender. While lavender does come from both Myanmar and Guatemala, at this time there is not a notable amount of high-quality lavender jade from Guatemala being sold in American jewelry stores due to the scarcity of the material. Ice jade is the 3rd most valued color of jadeite jade, but tends to be quite affordable in rings, pendants, and earrings, but commands extremely high prices in bangles and beads. At the time of this video, large amounts of truly colorless ice jade are not being produced in any notable quantity from Guatemala. But that doesn't mean it isn't there, waiting to be uncovered. Jadeite jade's value factors include color, meaning tone, saturation, and hue, translucency, texture, cut, matching in the case of bead necklaces and bracelets, and size, though jade is not priced per carat. In my video, Why is Jade So Expensive?, I dive deep into explaining how jade can easily be affordable in lower qualities, but high-quality gem material is exceptionally rare. If you've seen Guatemalan jade before, you probably think of it as blue, or more specifically, this blue-green color with gray tone. Myanmar does produce blue jadeite jade, which can be either a bluish lavender or a true blue. However, this color seems to be distinctly Guatemalan. In this iconic Guatemalan color, there is a range of qualities, from opaque to translucent, valued higher as the content of white albite inclusions decreases. Another notable Guatemalan characteristic in jade is the intermixing of blue and yellow, as seen here. While most Burmese jadeite jade has a red rind, this isn't always the case with Guatemalan jade. Japan also has blue jade, but the color of blue is distinctly different from Guatemalan blue. While Burmese jadeite jade can have white albite inclusions, this particular snowflake pattern seen in Guatemalan jade is another strong indicator of origin. You can see why it may be difficult to differentiate between very high qualities of Burmese and Guatemalan jadeite jade. which may not have indicators such as a high number of inclusions or a blue-green color with gray tone. It's like rolling a perception check. You might need a +5 in gem lore to tell some Burmese and Guatemalan apart. Customers are falling in love with Guatemalan jadeite jade because of its neutral hue, unique appearance, and the fact that in mid-grade material, one can buy a higher translucency piece, which is more durable than an opaque jade of the same price. This means that Guatemalan jade customers right now can get even more durable, long-lasting, heirloom-quality jade with a modest budget. Its color appeals to men, and part of the stone's allure comes from the history and culture behind it. Having been used by at least 7 different Mesoamerican civilizations between 1500 BC and 1500 AD, jade's story is intertwined with that of the Olmec, Maya, and Aztecs, an important part of Mexican and Guatemalan culture which connects deeply with many American and Latin American shoppers. Every year in La Antigua, Guatemala, Jade Maya holds the Congress of Latin American Jade Carvers, where talented jade artists in Central and South America gather for the most prestigious jade carving competition in this hemisphere. In an effort to preserve Mayan history, the artists pay tribute to ancient jade artifacts that have been uncovered from past civilizations, while putting their own modern spin on the retelling of ancient stories with their work. Jade is the heart of this city and the lifelong passion of these artists. The celebration of jade's culture and economy is alive in Guatemala, where many people make a living because of the international demand for jade. Jade Maya also has a jade quarry in Guatemala where visitors can stay at Hacienda Santiago, a bed and breakfast offering horseback riding, hiking, and jade prospecting, where visitors can even learn to cut their own piece of jade they found on the premises. Before we move on to common myths about Guatemalan jadeite jade, I want to let you know that you can purchase guaranteed natural jadeite jade from Mason K Jade at mkjadejewelry.com, and you can use the discount code JOT for 10% off your order. Using the JOT discount code helps save you money and goes a long way towards supporting this channel. Thank you to everyone who has used the JOT discount code when making a purchase. Many other videos on this channel have been dedicated to educating customers on shopping for natural jade. Treated jade is less stable, less valuable, and more brittle than natural jade, so it's important to shop with a seller you trust so that you don't accidentally buy treated jade for an unfairly high price. At this time, jade is not yet being treated to look like Guatemalan blue-green with a gray tone. So for the most part, as long as you can verify that your Guatemalan jade is in fact genuine jadeite jade, there's not much to be concerned about. However, we don't know what the future holds, and it is possible that jade may one day be treated to mimic Guatemalan. So even when buying Guatemalan, it's still important to shop with a trustworthy seller like Mason K Jade, Jade Maya, Mayan Mountain, and jade artists featured in our videos of the Monterey Bay Jade Festival like Justin Jade, Freshwater Jade, Alan Spehar, and more. Regarding common myths, it's not unusual for people to believe that Guatemalan jade can't be treated. There's no reason to think this is true at this time. But also, genuine jadeite jade wouldn't necessarily have to be Guatemalan to be treated to look like Guatemalan. It's also common to believe that Guatemalan jade changes color, but this is not true. Jade is not a mood ring. Natural jadeite jade does not undergo true color change, though the surface can be stained if light-colored and opaque. This is not permanent, but it is the reason that jadeite jade is often coated with beeswax, which does not affect the value or appearance of the stone and is not a permanent treatment. The reason people normally believe jade changes color is because treated jade can change color. As for the Guatemalan material, it seems like the rumor that Guatemalan jade changes color got started as a way to delegitimize jade from Guatemala in favor of Burmese material. Is Guatemalan jade of equal quality less valuable than Burmese? Technically no, but rarely is Guatemalan jade of equal quality and appearance to fine Burmese jadeite jade. So far, most of the Guatemalan material on the market does not have as desirable a color as Myanmar's iconic Imperial Green. Additionally, Guatemalan jade is not always cut as well. That of course depends on the carver, and China is known for having the best carvers in the world and has a strong jade carving industry. However, there are some exceptions, and while some Guatemalan material is priced at a steal, overall, jade should be valued based on its value and quality factors, as origin of fine material cannot be determined using standard gemological tests. With that being said, there is plenty of affordable Burmese material, so it's not at all accurate to say that all Guatemalan jade is cheap. or that all Burmese jade is expensive. What are some rumors you've heard about Guatemalan jade? Leave them in the comments and I'll bust any myths you've been wondering about. If you liked this video, be sure to watch our Guatemalan Jade Mine Tour, where we experienced Guatemala's jade culture and Jade Maya's vertically integrated company, where they mine, cut, and sell jade. Jade Maya was founded by the discoverers of Guatemalan jade themselves, Jay and Mary Lou Ridinger. Mary Lou has been featured on this channel in interviews about Guatemalan jade. Enjoy your trip down the jade rabbit hole.